Hello everybody, welcome back to Art by the Lake. If we sound a little frantic like we're hurrying today, it's because I am. We're doing a resin paint pour today, and if you've never done this, it's kind of interesting because once you start mixing the resin with the hardener, the clock is ticking. I have already mixed the resin for 2 minutes. I use Envirotex Light. I've got a number of colors laid out here. I'm going to pour the resin into some of these colors, probably all these colors, and then we're going to pour them out on the canvas. I'll be working them with air, I'll be working them with heat, I'll be working them with the torch. I've got mostly sort of blues here, but I've got some accent colors in some gold, in some, what I've used here is actually blush, sort of a mica powder. You can kind of see how very little is in there. And I've got some Liquitex turquoise deep professional ink, and that is this color. So all kinds of interesting stuff going on today. I'm really not sure how it's all going to work out, but that's what makes it fun. So I'm not really sure how much resin to mix. This is really the first one of these I've done. So if it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, that's pretty accurate. I don't know what I'm doing. I've asked my niece, who's doing similar pours, some questions over Thanksgiving, and I just wanted to try it. So we're going to jump in and we're going to try a resin pour. I think I'm going to do a lot of the dark colors and a lot of the white color, and I want to leave some negative space on this one. I'm pouring pretty carefully here because I don't want to run out of resin. If I do, I have to kind of stop the whole video and go mix up more. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to mix up each batch of resin, and I don't think you want to sit and watch me mix up resin. Be very curious. Here's the ink. I want to see how the resin reacts with that. The rest are just acrylic paints, colors that I've made. So beyond the blush and the ink, the rest are just normal acrylic paint that we use in our other pours. So we'll see how it all goes. This may be a multi-segmented filming. I have 20-minute limit on my camera, and so if you see a break in the action here, it's because I've run out of time. I'm going to try to use up all of this resin. I want to have a lot of paint to cover the canvas. I've got a 16 by 20 stretch canvas. I have put push pins to raise it up off the surface, and I've backed it with some cardboard with some additional push pins. I'm just concerned about sag, you know, that the painting may sag a bit on the canvas with the weight of the resin. So I did reinforce the center of it. So I know this is not terribly interesting so far, other than me pouring resin into some colors. I am going to mix them up. I did use a little bit of coconut milk serum. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is in some of the colors. So we'll see how that affects everything. I have done resin before to coat paintings when they are done. I've never poured the actual paint into the resin. So this is a bit of a crapshoot, and as you can see, this stuff's pretty thick. So we'll see. I'm not really 100% certain what my working time is on it before it hardens, but I know I don't have a ton of time. So trying to even some of these cups out and put maybe a little bit more in some of the cups. Like I said, I'm going to go heavier on white because I want a lot of negative space in this one. So I do have gloves on. I would recommend it with resin. Not so much because it's dangerous to your skin or anything like that. It's just super, super sticky and really hard to get off. So I've poured out most of my resin. It may be a little bit hard to see on this, but I'm pouring out the balance of the white here. I've got quite a bit of resin in the white. I use about 1/10 of the volume of resin to paint, so there's about 1/10 of the amount of paint as there is resin in these pores. That is somewhat arbitrary, but I'm still kind of getting a feel for this. So let's mix these up. I'm really not sure what to expect. That's sort of a light blue color. That's a Liquitex color. This is a Americana neon blue. I think you can see these colors. There's the Americana neon blue. This is a color I've made. It's sort of a, I would call it almost black color. And you can see we're already getting pretty goopy here, so I'm going to mix these quickly. This is sort of a turquoise color. This is silver, also acrylic paint. It's going to be challenging to pour these. I can tell already. They're not going to come out of these cups like normal paint does. They're really sort of sticky. I would say the consistency of maple syrup almost. The ink is looking good. That's the Liquitex ink. You can get an idea here. Let's see how the blush does. I don't know what to expect from this one. This one I suspect is going to be mostly clear, but that's okay. A little bit of pink cast to that one. Here's the white. And here is a little bit of a sort of fluorescent yellow. That's an accent color that I think I'll reserve a bit of. Okay. So the countdown is on. Let's start pouring some of these and see what we get. And by pour, I mean they're not going to come out of the cup easily on some of these. So this is already a bit of a problem because this one is just way too thick. Way too thick. So let's see if the rest of my colors follow that course. Nope. These will pour. So let me work this one out a little bit. The intent of the dark color was I wanted a darker color base, which is actually what I pretty much have here, like it or not. So we'll work with what we have. I'm just going to smear this down toward the bottom, which is where I wanted it anyway, so I think we're okay here. Anytime you do something for the first time, it's always an experiment. Okay. And I know what you're saying already. What are you doing? It's okay. We're going to be okay. Just going to put this dark color toward the bottom. For whatever reason, this dark pigment seems to be the most thick. So it's sort of a melted peanut butter consistency right now. But I think that's okay. I think we can work with that. Good, okay. So let's see how some of these other colors pour. Hopefully they actually pour. Yep, there we go. Some of these I'm just gonna sit the cup down and let it run out of there while I pour some of the others. It seems like the Liquitex colors are really, really heavy, really thick. That could be a function of the resin that I'm using as well. So we'll see. I like the effect so far. I just don't like the consistency. So I've got several colors going here. And again, trying to get the maximum out of them because they are very slow to come out of this cup. Now we're doing silver. I don't think we're going to get some of these colors to come out. This is the one I'm actually pretty excited about. This is that Liquitex ink. So we're going to fire that right down the center here. You can see that's got some really interesting color and really interesting texture to it. Almost translucent, this color. Yeah, I like that a lot. We're going to let that drain out up here. Are you saying it yet? What the hell is he doing? Well, that's the beauty of this stuff. You just don't know what you're doing sometimes. We'll see how much we can get this to work or not. The dark color down here seems to be one of the problems, I think. But we'll get that going here shortly. We're down to a couple colors. So let me move these cups out of the way. See what we got going on the board here. Good. Most of it is coming out. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. None of that's coming out. None of the dark colors coming out. So we got a lot of white here that we're going to just blaze around the top of this thing. And I want to get every ounce of white out of that. So I'm going to just sit that one down. This is that blush that I mentioned. That's got some unique colors going on. Sort of a pinkish, clearish color. Mostly clear. So on first look to me, we'll see when we get tilting here, it looks to me like we don't have enough paint to pour this and complete it. I may do this one in a couple different phases So it may not be all resin. I may do some normal acrylic pour with it. I haven't really decided yet. Get this upside down up here. Get all that coming out. And last, but certainly not least, my fluorescent yellow. I'm only going to pour a little bit of this because I want to do some tilting first. Okay. Let me check my time. So far you see the things are drying pretty quickly. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a pretty good thing. So let me just check our time here. Okay, we've got about 3 minutes to go on this one. I'm going to jump up and pause and restart the camera, and then we'll commence with the tilting. Okay, phase 2. Reset the camera. Gonna get some of the cups off here. That was just a quick reset. We didn't do anything, as you can see, to the painting. The painting is what it is. I am going to see if I can pour some more of the resin into the white and get the very last bits of resin. And then we're going to tilt. Okay, there's definitely a lot more resin in here. So let's tilt, and then I'll do that so that I don't waste your time on the camera. So here we go. Just mark my corners so that I can put this back in roughly the same spot. I would say very slow tilting. In fact, not much tilting at all in this one. I'm not sure if you can see, but most of the paint is not exactly flying around. So let's try some other techniques here. So that seems to be working really well. I'm going to pause the camera here so that we can reset, clean some things up, and I'll bring the camera back online in a few minutes. Okay, so we're back. So you notice a lot has happened. So the resin is drying very, very quickly, so I had to make some decisions and move forward without putting the camera on. So I was using the straw here. I blew a lot of this stuff around. I like how that worked out. I have to fix down in here yet with some dark colors. I did some more white up here, and I've been playing around with this Liquitex spray paint. I don't know if you can see that or how much you can see that, but it's a yellow color. and I really kind of like what that's done to the painting. So I'm going to continue to play around with that. I'm going to try to fix the area down here to make it almost black. I did hit it with the blowtorch just to get out some of the bubbles and to get the blend a little bit better. But I'm going to call this one first resin experiment gone wrong. But I think it worked out okay. Again, I'll fix this bottom color down here. I'm going to stop the video and then I'll do some still shots as I get sort of toward the end of this one. But thanks for tuning in. We are Art by the Lake. If you're interested in what we do or you have any questions, please contact us at artbythelake@gmail.com. Please follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us, comment. We always enjoy comments. And if you're interested in buying any of these, they can be found on Etsy and eBay, both at Art by the Lake. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll post some stills at the end of this one.